Hey guys, welcome back to the Legacy Podcast. Bringing you guys another episode. We're super excited about this episode because I get a chance to talk to a really good brother that's doing really good things in the same industry as I am. Doing amazing things, seeing him in a lot of different places, making a lot of moves. Before we get too deep into it, you guys know I'm Terrence with Black Legacy Group. We help small business owners increase their revenue by $50,000 without spending more money on marketing and advertising. Today, guys, we're going to be talking to a guy who is not only a fellow father, he's also a business mentor. His accolades are so crazy. I had to read them. He's a founder and a CEO of Clay Point Association. He's a coach. He's a business owner, Department of Small Business and Supply Diversity. He works with the Metropolitan Business League, Virginia State University, Henrico Economic Development Authority as of this late May, and he just keeps going and going and going. Like this is an amazing brother. So without further ado, welcome Mr. Antonio Miller.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I follow your platform, and I think that the community needs you and needs more of you. So, thank you for having a conversation with me. It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. We've been connected probably about over a year, 2 years maybe. Just kind of backstory, like when we first, I don't even remember exactly how we originally got connected, but I know I had a client who was in the process of getting funding for their business, and I found you somehow. We got connected, and we were able to send some people your way. So definitely, it's been great just building this relationship over this period of time. So first off, just thank you for taking this opportunity to do this interview.
Yeah, for sure, man. Anything to help out those that are doing the helping out or whatever I can do, man. I'm always for
So give me some, like you do a lot. You have a lot going on. So give me. It seems like there's a center focus though, and the center focus is business. So let's just start there. Like, what gave you that initial like buzz for the business ownership and like the acumen to help within business?
You want to know something that's funny? Like the center point isn't really business. That's just
Mhm.
the tool or the skill set I use as a conduit to do what is the business, and that's just to help people. Believe it
Mhm.
or not, for what I try to do in the small business ecosystem, I used to do that in coaching high school athletes,
Mhm.
uh, particularly in the horizontal jumps because that's what I did. So it's really at the core of it is just helping people. It just so happened that I took to business
Yeah.
and I understand the concepts and pick them up really, really fast. And I also have a love for it. I mean, it is part of it, but at the core of it is literally helping people.
So what drove you to say, I want to help not just businesses, but I want to help people. Like, do you feel like that was something that was needed in the community, or do you feel like it was something you needed when you were like in that entry stage? Like what really like got you there?
Um, so yeah, absolutely. I think it's always needed. Like nothing is done by one man or woman. It's always, it's not much you can do other than breathe by yourself. Not anything fun at least. Um, and that's just my personal opinion. But with that said, for me, I've been in situations where I needed, and the key part is have gotten the help from
Mm,
great individuals who didn't want anything from me, who didn't need anything from me, and the only thing they wanted was for me to pay it forward. So when you run across somebody in this situation, once you've moved on, make sure that you take the same time to help that, you know what I'm saying, you get here. And that even wasn't mandatory. It was more so recommended.
yeah,
I
yeah.
could have went on and just been like, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But I've taken that to heart because like people took the time. It could have went left so many times, but people have stepped in on my behalf. So
Yeah.
that's the whole root of it.
So do you feel, and let's talk on that point, like how important is that, like building that community and have people that can vouch for you and, having people that can, help you get to that next level because, I know like we can do a lot by ourselves, but it really means a lot when we have that person that can vouch for you, that can help you make that extra step. So how has that been within your in your career?
I mean, it's been literally a ton of people vouching for me and really cool people that I think the one thing I've been brave enough to actually talk to these people when I can and ask them questions, but that's how you build a career. I mean, you can build a career off talent, and a lot of people do, but a successful career, you got to build that off relationships because it's just some things you're not gonna know unless you talk to somebody else that's been there, done that, or you just gonna have a really long, learning curve. So
Mhm.
for me, like everywhere I've been, I've tried to be a sponge. Any room that I can go in, I go in with 3 ears and no mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just listen and soak it up. And if I have something to add, then be ready to do that too. That's the other end of it. Basically what we're talking about is having good mentors and good mentorship. And the way you balance those relationships is either mentoring someone else and paying it forward, or at least showing your mentors that you heard them, that they heard that their time wasn't in vain because they're busy, and you do something with the information or the connection or whatever it is.
So, like where you are, so you attribute a lot to having a mentor, right? So, do you recommend that most business owners, and we're going to talk about business right now, but do you recommend that most business owners have like some sort of like mentor or coach or just somebody they can glean from?
Yeah, I think they should have like a minimum of five. And you got sometimes we have to take the word mentor out because to be successful, you got to be kind of driven. And sometimes a lot of that comes out of ego. And
Yeah.
some people don't want a mentor, so to speak, but you at least need some peers or at least some associates, whatever name you want to put on it to satisfy yourself. You need to bounce your ideas off people. You need to collaborate. You need community. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
tragedy isn't a tragedy when you're around a group of people that can walk you through it. It's a mishap. It's a
Yeah.
pothole.
Yeah.
But if you by yourself, man, first bad thing to happen is the end of the world because you don't have any reference point.
I love it, man. And I always recommend too, like, you definitely want to have like some type of mentor because if you think about it, like every aspect of your life, like we've always had like someone who was kind of superior in a sense, and not from a hierarchy standpoint, but just someone who knows more information about something than you, right? So we grew up, we have teachers. If you go to church, you have a pastor. You have parents, and these are people that can like they're supposed to like fill us up with information, help guide us. I think now, especially like in this culture, we have a lot of business owners who has never like went through the process to like really develop a business and they're doing it on their own, right? Have you seen something similar to that?
Absolutely. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the sad, not the sad, but the heartbreaking cases for me is the ones I see with the talent. They are CEOs, they are business owners, and
Mhm.
they do start making money, but because they never think they had the right tools in place
Yeah.
and like the foundation and the relationships and the best practices, they're not able to sustain it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What are
But
some of the oh go, I'm sorry.
oh no, but we have to be clear. It's not for a lack of resources and tools out here.
Mhm.
Just as somebody who just operates in these ecosystems every day,
Yeah.
in various roles from, this role to that role, it's people out here you can talk to for free. It's help you can get for free. There's money out here if you are aware of it.
All right. So that's a great point. And I've always I feel like there's a entry level or hallway in that or conduit, like you said, like in that scenario of like the resources, then you have the people. And in between, it's the understanding of like how to get to the resources, right? So what are some ways that a business owner who may not have the resources right now or the know-how to get to the resources, like what is something that you recommend that they would do now, or like two or three things that you recommend?
First and foremost, they can schedule an appointment with you, and you know or an equivalent, if we're being
Yeah.
fair and unbiased, but they could schedule an appointment with you, right? They could call me. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find it and
Yeah.
pass it to them. I have
Yeah.
no problem acquiring with that. But we lack three C's in our community sometimes, and that's communication, that's capital, and connection. We
Yeah.
won't connect with anybody. We don't have a sense of community, and we have no money.
Yeah.
And so if you ain't got money trying to get rolling, you gotta at least know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you
Absolutely.
gotta connect with somebody or have some community to figure out the best practices on how to get these things done.
When it comes to accessing funds for small business owner, because we work together with helping businesses get funding as well. But what is something that you see that first that a lot of times business owners don't have in place, and what is the scenario where you should see a business owner at to actually be approved for funding?
A bare minimal, if you're looking to go get funding from a financial institution, a legit one that's not like the merchant cash advances or anything like that, you're gonna need 2 years tax returns. You're gonna need financial statements. Some of them may require a business plan. You're gonna need basically to be able to show where your business is financially.
Hmm.
Tax returns, profit and loss statements, all of those things, and it can vary from institution to institution.
Yeah.
You can do online, and they'll just do a credit pool and basically give you a line of credit that you're basically personally securing anyway through like the point of sale apps or whatnot. And then of course merchant cash advances, you can do things like that. But you just have to have your paperwork in order. A large part of it is the lack of information, but a large part of it is, oh, I didn't file taxes, or I don't have my profit and
Yeah.
loss statements, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. And, the first and foremost thing is you got to make sure that your business is profitable. So your cash rate, um, you got for every dollar it takes you to spend, you got to bring in at least 1 cent over that dollar,
Yeah.
or you're
Yeah.
just not profitable. And being honest about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have done 15,000 in the first quarter, but if it costs you 16,000 to do it, you don't have a profitable business. You have a debt now.
So I think that, and so many things to unpack from that statement. So it goes back to what you were saying earlier about having that community, because I think as business owners, like a lot of times there's a lack of information, or we think we can run a business, but we don't have to file the taxes on the business. And I think we process sometimes where it's like, if I don't make over a certain amount of money, I don't have to file it. You have to file it. Like there's no way around it. And then just having like that information there, from an accountant, having an accountant in your corner to do bookkeeping, to do your taxes, paying it so you can actually pay your quarterlies and stuff like that. Um, let me ask you this, because you mentioned the merchant cash advances. Um, can you please speak on that?
It's basically predatory lending for businesses.
Thank you. You used the
Um,
exact words I was hoping you was going to use.
Yeah, I mean, and not to, just in case there's any merchant cash advances out there listening. Um, but that's basically what it is. It's for people who haven't done the research or who have a great idea and they're passionate about it and they need cash right now to
Yeah.
get to the next stage of their idea. And basically people, that need it right now. But
Mhm.
if it comes with an interest rate of 18 million and you can never get out of it, then you didn't help your business or yourself, and you could end up losing, something that could be profitable if you could
Yes.
just go to your. That's another thing, man. Being able to go to the financial institution where you direct deposit, where you hold your mortgage, where you hold your car. It Everybody has something that they finance,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the level that you can go get those things financed and go start a business, there's a huge disparity there. And one is because of a lack of assets and probably cash on hand to secure it. But, you know, I would work on myself to the point where I could go to my lending institution and apply for funding. There's really no shortcut to it or a way around it, so to speak.
Yeah. And that having that relationship with your bank is so important. Like you should know your business banker. Like, you should know that person's name. Like build that relationship. If it's, brown nosing to send them a gift or whatever, like it's important. Like they can literally save your business. It's something that you have to have. That's a
And
part of
that's the
having a
thing.
community too.
And not to cut you off, but you don't have to like brown nose or any of those things. It's just familiarity.
Yeah.
People do business with people that they know and that
Yep.
they can trust
Yeah.
and things of that nature. If I know that faithfully you come here and drop this mortgage off, if we're doing small business lending or something and you're right there, that's a conversation. Like, hey man,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
You come in here every month, you get you this and that done. What do you need this 15 for? Oh, I
Mhm.
just bought a lemonade stand or a food truck.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking about doing this. Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and see if I can help out.
Yeah. It's
And
so important.
for minority communities, unfortunately, there's not enough minority financial institutions. So the probability of having a relationship like that, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you have to do the work to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And I'm gonna tell a horror story when it comes to merchant cash advances. I had a client that came to me one time, and she she wasn't a client at the time, and but she knew of me. She knew of the work we did, and she came to us. She was like, Terrence, um, she said, I am in trouble. And when she said that, I'm like, oh Lord, here we go, right? So she had been in a position or been put in a position where she had took out a merchant cash advance, an MCA. Then she had to go take out another one to pay off that one, right? And then she got to a point where she was about to get another one to take care of those two. And I'm like, man, please, whatever you do, don't answer the phone. Like, don't say yes to nobody else. She was paying, I think, $300 a day. Hers wasn't weekly. Hers was daily. She had a daily repayment plan. So she was paying, I think it's like Monday through Friday. She was paying up to like $300 a day, paying this loan back. The worst part was you can't pay it off like one check. Like a lot of times you have to pay it off over that period of time, like 6 months or something like that. Whatever you borrow, like you still have to pay that back plus interest. Not only that, the worst part was this business was doing decent. Like, it was a restaurant and they did about 30, between like 30, 32 a month, 36,000 a month. So it's pretty good for a restaurant, in this area. And like she had no way to get out of it because she had got so far into the hole with the merchant cash advances that it was almost impossible to get out. So, anybody who is, in this process where they're like looking for funding for their business, these people, it seems good, it seems great. They're saying they can give you a certain amount of money in a short period of time. Please beware, build that relationship with your business banker. At least go there first. There's so many credit unions that their job is to give money out. Like, they make money by lending money. So don't put yourself in that position where you have to go with one of these predatory lenders because they are literally trying to take everything from you.
Man, so I saw a couple weeks ago that the Henrico Credit Union has a financial empowerment center in Regency Square Mall now, and within their adult education complex, and it's immaculate, right? Banks are literally out here showing you how to access funds, how to be financially stable. It
Yeah.
seems like all of the institutions have that now, and if I had to guess, it's because they got to diversify their portfolio. So it just
Yeah.
can't be auto, home, and deposits. Small business, bringing the small business community
Yeah.
on board. It's going to be the wild, wild west and a free fall for that business going
Mhm.
forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's education out there. You can go sit down with somebody to get you right. Whatever the case, you could go and find this help.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just you got to be willing to do it and be willing to be patient and wait for your thing to develop.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And, like you said too, so if you can, it's the last question. If you could talk about the services that you offer from a mentoring standpoint for businesses. So, like, there's businesses that need help because you offer a free service. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not even a service, man. If you have a business and it's something that you're trying to get a hold to, I just invite people to shoot me an email, call me, DM me, because I mean, the information I picked up, over different careers and positions and different things like that, but I still have the information and I
Yeah.
don't mind, helping somebody along. So I wouldn't even call it a service. It's just like a conversation. If
Mhm.
you reach out, I'm going to help you if I can. And if I can't help you, if there's someone I can connect you to that can help you,
Yeah.
then we'll do that.
So let's do this. I appreciate it. Give me your projection. Where are you going to be, or what's your goal for the next 5 years? And then we're going to wrap it up. And then I want to give everybody the opportunity to connect with you. Okay.
My goal over the next 5 years, man, is developing my habits and my processes to a point where I feel like it matches my potential. And I know that sounds general, but for me, I feel like I can reach different heights, but I have to become more disciplined. I have to become even more willing to learn. I have to become more regiment in my day to day. So my goal is really just self mastery to kind of sum that up.
That's
That's my
cool.
goal in the next 5 years, and everything else will grow out of that. I have ideas that I would like to launch. Um, I think by 40, I want to move away from just helping and whenever we're doing whatever I can, whenever or whatever, and kind of focusing on a project and something long term.
Yeah.
But for now, man, while I'm in my growth, mode, my goal is to help as many other people as I can grow. So that's on the docket for the
That's
next
awesome.
5.
So first off, thank you for everything that you're doing in the community, man. It's greatly appreciated. Please let the people know where they can find you.
Coach Miller Info. That's on Instagram. Um, Text me if you have my number. If not, just DM me so I know you do legit business, or at least can know you. Coach M on LinkedIn. You can reach me there. But yeah, shoot me a message and we're good to go. Or reach out to Mr. Blackwell so he can vet you, and first get a consult with him, right? And then if he sees the need to send you my way, I'm here for you as well. So
Absolutely.
that's the best way.
Cool, cool, cool. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, real
Like I
quick,
said,
real quick.
well,
Thank you for doing what you do in the community, because we need, and just being transparent and frank, we need black men out here that's willing to at least pass along the information and coach
yeah,
people and do what they got to do to
yeah,
help, you know what I'm saying, people like us move forward and build generational wealth. I know that's kind of like a buzzword now, generational wealth and
yeah,
black excellence, but these things have to be taught and
yeah,
learned.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so thank you for being a teacher, bro. That's appreciated 100%.
I appreciate it 100%, man. Thank you so much. Guys, this has been a great episode. Make sure you follow Mr. Miller. He's a ton of knowledge. He has so many jewels that he can drop on you. And can help you out with growing your business. Again, thank you so much for checking out this episode, and we will see you guys next time. Peace. Yeah.